Hey there, welcome to a quick little recap of one of the seasons of Aurorum Mole Remnants. This was recorded as part of a live stream where we had to cancel the session, so things are a little bit crazy. It's all in the raw, same as always, but I hope you like our recap and our take on it, sometimes from the perspective of over a year since we played these sessions, and sometimes the emotions are very real. Anyways, hope you enjoy. Let's recap season one now, but with recapping season one, let's not have the same kind of like one at a time. Let's all just kind of chat or have fun here. So to start talking about season one, I'm just gonna recite the names of the 13 sessions that were a part of it, just so we can kind of like remember what happened there and then kind of dive right in. Remember, the names are all terrible, and that's because I'm terrible at naming things, and Joey has actually helped me to rename like 4 or 5 of them, but I don't even remember where his renaming list is to have renamed them and given him the appropriate init to say thank you for that. But either way, so sessions 1 through 13 are Awakening in Leshev, Lost in the Woods, Dan's Darkest Secret 1, Dan's Darkest Secrets 2, Fox's Cunning, Pursuit of Freedom, Ruinous Rendezvous, the Half-Cocked Plan. That's actually, I really like that one. Breaker of Chains 1, Breaker of Chains 2, Freedom's Price, Restoring Order, and finally, The Valiant Few is the season finale there. So let's kind of like recap this season. Anybody feel free to jump in. There's no, like, I suppose I'll start. As a reminder for where you guys started off, Aldo was in prison. Koa was reporting the death of Phil and more or less being like, I'm filing a report, which is some stupid bullshit, to the authorities for what happened here. And I think Mikhail was, I don't actually remember exactly where Mikhail kind of like came in here, but it was at the court hearing that more or less they were like, all right, well, we'll hire people to go solve this problem, and you have a death sentence of go along and join them. And that was kind of like how you guys were almost like forced together. So I'll kind of throw it to you guys from there. And you don't have to just talk about session 1 or 2 at a time. Feel free to, however you'd like, scattershot.
I think Mikhail was there to bring up the fact that Jim Smith's kid got kidnapped. So I know that was like part of it. It was like him reporting that, and then they were like kind of using this bandit hunt as a, I guess kind of like a guise to like do this search under, in a way. I don't remember all the details of it, but I think it was something along those lines.
There was a moment that reminded me of, again, the Mortifer Pathfinder game, where I don't know if Dan was always the corrupt evil one, but I'm pretty sure Jake and Aldo were just like fucking pointing fingers and bullshitting. They're like, nah, that guard's corrupt, and it ended up being true. It reminded me whenever Mathis was playing Jaaek, and he fingered a statue's butthole, and that ended up being the way to open a door, and it wasn't Scott's original plan, but he was like, it's just so good, how could I say no? Because he's really into fingering buttholes or whatever. But apparently the Dan thing, I was like, is this Scott pivoting because it was so good, or is Dan always corrupt? I don't know.
Yeah, I wondered the same thing, because I remember initially just thinking, okay, so Aldo's just he's just throwing shit at this guy to maybe deflect from himself, or because maybe he really doesn't like these bastards and he's just putting it on that one dude. I wasn't expecting it to be like, oh no, he really is the biggest piece of shit in the guard.
Yeah. I was also like, are we about to have another Jack Mortifer scenario where Aldo is like this manipulative bullshitter and my character's just going to fall for it because I can never roll high enough to overcome his lies?
The scary thing is he could have done it to both of us.
Yeah.
He still could.
Yeah.
He still could.
Thankfully, we're somewhat onto him at this point. Like, we know he does it, but we only figured out after the fact because we can never beat him in a roll.
You also have like +5s or +10s because you know him so well, like a year of traveling, of like truly intimate moments with him, living together with him.
That still gives him an advantage.
Yeah.
If you get a +, sure. He's still a really good liar.
That's how crazy it is.
But you're just less inclined to believe him on those lies, right?
Yeah.
Well, typically we don't roll, right? Unless it's something like significant, we don't roll against each other. But
yeah.
No, Aldo 100% could have been the Jack to us, Jack the Mortifer to us. Like we would have just flat out not been able to tell a difference because the bullshitting is so dangerous and he's so good at it.
Yeah. Sometimes even without the roll.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I think part of the reason why Jake is good at being a liar too is because, well, so not always. Sometimes he's being a dumb schmuck, but part of the reason, and then he rolls so high that it doesn't matter what the truth is that he tends to tell lies that have enough truth or believability with the known facts to the people that he's telling them to that I can't even apply the penalties. So as a reminder to the rules here, if the lie is unlikely, he takes a -5, which for him is like a glancing blow. If the lie is far-fetched, he takes a -10, which to him is like actually impeding, but he has a good chance of succeeding against, your average schmuck. And if the lie is impossible, he gets a -20, which, okay, that's where he probably is going to fail, but he doesn't ever do those. And most importantly, Jake tends to go and seed his lies while at taverns and bars and so on and so forth. Not always. That's a common spot. And you get a +5 if the target is drunk or impaired. And so it's one of those things, even when he does his unlikely or far-fetched lies, it's usually in scenarios where people are inebriated anyways. And so I'm just like, fuck you, Jake, with your 85 or whatever your result was. So. But, sorry, continue, sorry.
No, it's all legit. Let's see what else happened. Us becoming a group, like going on that job, it seemed a little dicey at first, just because it's like, how are these characters going to gel? They all have very different, like, tactics and reasons to do this. But it ended up being pretty cool. I really liked. I expect what really stood out was after that first fight, after Aldo shot that guy, how it was like really affecting him that he killed someone. I think that was a really cool RP moment, because there was
the
that
only redeeming moment for Aldo as a person.
At the moment, yeah, but
it was a rough start with Aldo. Yeah, the whole like, I don't even want to fucking be here. Fuck you guys. Fuck Leshev. Fuck all of this. And Koa's like, I'm already called the hero of Leshev. Like, don't fucking ruin my reputation. I got business to handle. Your little like prisoner ass ain't gonna drag me down. And I don't remember what Mikhail's motivation originally was. Was it the fact that your stuff was stolen, or that you knew Cleveland a little bit?
He felt a bit guilty about Cleveland, and he was fired for a thing, but it was like, yeah, he didn't feel like he did enough to stop him.
That's right. I remember your tie-in was Cleveland. Wade's tie-in was the bandit attack, which inevitably, as we saw, led to the death of Phil. And Jake's tie-in was he was being forced to it. So kind of like touching on a point that we all like mentioned there, except for Jake, he doesn't talk, is that when you're dealing with a party, there kind of are only a handful of approaches that make sense. An approach that can work when you're choosing as PCs is why I think don't make your entire character with the other players, but definitely speak to each other during the character creation process. One approach you could take is, hey guys, can we all just agree to have characters that want to have similar interests so we can, that is an approach, and it's a perfectly fine approach. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I actually think that's, for the average party, that's the smartest way, for my distant opinion to everybody else's table. That's the smartest way to ensure party cohesion. And then there's the circumstantial force to be together, which is the route that we went with here. The problem with circumstantial force to be together is either A, that circumstance can never let up. You always have to have a different circumstance to have to be together. Or B, the characters have to evolve before the chains of circumstance are removed so that they can want to be together. And we saw enough evolution of Aldo throughout the course of season 1 that when the chains of Aldo, which were technically removed prior to season 1, but let's just say that they were removed at the end of season 1 because that's where like really everything was resolved. He evolved enough that it made sense for him to stick around at least for a while more, right? Maybe not as far as he has so far, but it opened the door of there being a rolling evolution and so on. Jake, it looks like you want to talk to that.
Yeah, like the thing that I had with Aldo, and I know it rubbed some people the wrong way, but like sticking true to that character there, like he didn't want to be there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like he was forced to do something which Aldo had, does everything in his power to avoid conflict. You know what I mean? Like he'll lie his way out of it. He might take a few punches like from Tony and all that stuff, but being forced to confront like murderers Like that wasn't in Aldo's wheelhouse. So going on that first mission, I guess, and actually having Aldo like fight, like he only shot that person because they were about to like attack Mikhail, and having that moment where he did actually for the first time kill somebody, was very impactful to him. And I mean, going back to the session 0 again, he'd already got that job offer from Elliot, so I had it build on that and offer that, to the party after we resolved the issue. So that kind of tied it in a little bit, right? But I didn't want to just jump into, I like these guys are great. We're best friends. We're now a group. It's better to let that evolve around your character, and that's what I tried to do with Aldo. But yeah, I mean, he's had a lot of ups and downs, I guess, which we've seen. But that actually from that season, that first mission, having Aldo take his first life and having Koa actually kill Samir, that was quite like an
you remember the
mission.
NPC's name?
Yeah.
That means that didn't just have an impact on Aldo. That means that role playing that impact on Aldo had an impact on Jaaek, because you just said the name of a character that Aldo killed IRL a year ago.
That was the one Koa killed.
No, Koa killed.
Oh, okay. Do you remember the name of the character you killed?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind. I rescind my evaluation here.
I will say Samir came full circle though, because when Koa had a bit of a breakdown, I forget what the conversation was, but we had a conversation where Koa was like, dudes, I try to be good, but like I killed that guy because I wanted to, not because I had to. Like,
I'll be back in a sec.
Yeah.
That was him trying to, I forget what the exact conversation, the context was of like the Koa still feeling guilty for killing Samir, even though at the time he wanted to do it. But in hindsight, it was like, I didn't have to kill him. I could have brought him in.
Yeah.
Yep. Could have made it gold.
But from there, you had your thing. Were forced together by circumstance. Worked through that issue. Went and found the bandits and their old camp, which you inevitably had visited multiple times since, 2, maybe 3 times since then, which is nice. Kind of got a whiff, if you will, of the curse area in the woods. Just kind of like whether it be rumors or I think you even interacted with it ever so briefly there, and then you returned back to where you were kind of like going, turns them in, so on and so forth. And this is where Aldo informed you of the information he got from Elliot. You know what I mean? Elliot just being some peripheral NPC at the time. And when you got that that information from Elliot, that triggered the next quest for you guys, which was to, I believe it was there that you head west, right?
Yeah, we did Twisted Grove, or not Twisted Grove. We did the Mountain Keep before we took care of the slavery. Is that
right?
Lashes, right?
Yeah. We did the bandit. We took out the bandits. Then we went to not Twisted Grove. Then we went to the Mountain Keep, right?
Yeah, I think so.
No, wait, no, it was the other way around, because when we went to the Mountain Keep, we had what's her face who we'd helped save.
Wait, was the Mountain Keep in?
Mountain Keep was
season 2. Ignore Mountain Keep. So what happened was, after you had done what you needed to do, it was discovered that there was, Dan was corrupt, the slaver situation, so on and so forth.
We were on a time limit because of Cleveland.
Oh, that's right. Because we had to go all the way down to what is now the Crack. So yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, so we went south.
Because we got Jaden and what's his fuck. He was a really cool dude until Scott forgot who his character arc and became an asshole.
What?
Yeah, Weasel Man.
No. That character was always meant to be that character.
H something.
Huh?
Yeah.
Start with an H or something, didn't
Harveen.
it? What's his name? Harveen. Fuck him.
Yeah, no, that character was always that way. I mean,
no, he was literally great. Like the first 3 times we talked to him, then like all of a sudden he was just like, by the way, I'm a coward.
He existed in a different character as Session 0 in 2019. I know that. I know that character.
We've seen how loyal you've been to people's characters when you play them after the fact.
He was an NPC from a different person, Session 0. He wasn't the PC. Speaking of, there was the Easter egg I got to put inside of here for those of you that watched the original Kingmaker series that I did, again, started 6 years ago on a different channel. that series, I got to Easter egg those 3 PCs, which was fun, because we got to.
Didn't we step in a
Yep.
blood puddle that like
Yep.
was like a mile wide? And we're like, oh, this must be where Tesh fell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was.
just
Go ahead, Keegan.
just a dead guy with a staff. It's like Easter egg. Look
Yeah.
how I respect your legacy. You're the dead guy in the field who got his face ate.
He like farts as like a snake crawls out of his skull. Like,
Yep.
what respect to the legacy.
No, well, so in his session 0, so fun fact here, in his session 0, he barely survived a plains cat fight using magic, and so that's why he died to a plains
You
cat.
had
in that
someone
one.
face a plains cat in a session 0?
He had powerful offensive and defensive magic. So it was a different version of Auroran back then, and
He
I
had
think
snowball.
Shh.
That was all he had.
he had magic missile
isn't
and
it-
shield and mage armor. So
He had like 2 level 1 spells or something, and then he just had to hit it with cantrips.
And
I
I think
don't know
it
what
ran
you're
away.
talking
I
about.
think it ran away because it was
He had
injured.
powerful magic.
So-
He had snowball.
But moving on. Details don't matter. In
Like
Neil's,
Mikhail coming across, it's like, I can fix your window.
in Neil's session 0, he actually started captured by the slavers that you guys inevitably hunted down, but he was one of the ones that was able to get free and run away, while others were the ones that died and were buried in the cairns that were there. Instead, he was the one that died this time around and was in the cairns. And the final one was Jake's original character. He was kind of like on the hunt for XYZ. Doesn't really matter. You actually this time around got to see him get shredded apart by the gnolls. That we'll worry about that because that was season 2, I think. But I think all 3 of those were found late season 1, early season 2. But moving on. So back to season 1, you guys went on the hunt where Wade. That's where you re-encountered the town for Mikhail's session 0. And kind of like stayed there for a night and then kept going all the way over to Harrod and then inevitably into Hod Gwen.
Let
Where-
the snow.
Do we
the
talk
snow-
about Tor and this and that yet? Did that already?
No.
Nope. Go ahead.
they're
Touch
not
on
talking
it.
We haven't made it there yet. Basically, because we went bandits and then we went down to Hodgwen.
Let's not skip the tour. We can't forget the unforgettable Gargalith.
Yeah, because when we ran into those characters, that was after Tor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
We skipped
I was
Okay,
mentioning
okay.
that, but I think technically it happened in season 2. I think all 3 of them may have been season
Yeah.
2, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. It's just touching on
Yeah,
the
so-
bullshit.
Jog my memory here. After that first mission, then we got asked to find Cleveland, right?
Yeah,
and we went
That's when we
where?
headed
We-
south.
We
So we
went
headed
through
south- on the
Fort
river,
Industry,
right?
Yeah,
Correct.
we went on
the
the
river
river.
down to
And-
Hodgwen.
so remind me, why did Aldo? Because I don't think Aldo was forced on that one, right? He
He was
technically
getting
was.
paid.
He was getting paid. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
He was getting paid, and he wanted to help us finish this mission so we could do the big paying job with Elliot.
Correct.
We
So
were like, we're
that's
not doing
what
that
still-
till we finish this. And he's like, fucking, I guess I'll tag along then. But this is
Yeah.
stupid. We should go make some money.
Because the big paying job with Elliot was what ended up being Valley of Doom.
I have to interrupt
Yeah.
our important conversation for something stupid for a second. Hi, Rhode Island girl. I just want to let you know that I went to Cumberland to visit. I think it's Adams Farm in Cumberland, Rhode
Ooh.
Island, where there was a sign put up to warn people so nobody tripped or fell, which is a very kind thing of Rhode Islanders to do. And they were
Oh my
warning you of the uneven ground that was there, so you could carefully avoid the uneven ground in case it was a trip hazard for you. So know.
You would have spelled it that way.
Ground. I know how to spell
last
ground.
session, you spelled writing with 2 D's.
Yeah, last session I spelled writing with 2 D's, but it was the end
You
of
did.
my very
And I
long day.
pointed out, and you were like, "What's wrong with that?" You didn't even know right away.
As I said, Northeasterners bickering is like fucking Mussolini and Stalin going at it. It's like, dude,
I don't know if it's
y'all
the
are
same
the
as
Spider-Man meme.
One of those is obviously the superior when it comes to like military might. The other one was the soft underbelly of Europe, and that's Rhode Island.
The comparison of military might, Scott. All right, you hit the point right on the
Listen,
head there.
I'm just saying, in this scenario, I'm
I did not have
Stalin
on my
and
bingo
Rhode
card
Island girls
Scott being a
Mussolini.
Stalin defender in 2025.
You heard it here. Yep, Scott wants to be Stalin. The analogy there.
Well, we
Scott,
did have
you're definitely
Stalingrad
Mussolini.
crossbows, so
You
he
did?
has hinted at that.
For many years.
All right, moving away from this analogy, back to the game. So yeah, you were continue. Sorry, you'd been given the task. He was getting paid, and you were heading down there. Did you guys actually stopped by Forvin on the way and did a bit of discovery in Forvin too? Didn't you?
I don't know if that was it that time or was it the time on the way back? I don't remember the first time we had this stuff in Forvin pop up.
I think we had something come up in Forvin. I think that's where somebody first talked to like the guard lady there. But like, I don't remember everything that happened there, and I can't look at my notes at all.
It wasn't until after we dissolved the ring that the one widow or whatever the wife was like, "Oh, my husband wasn't actually bad. He's a good man." But that was after we dissolved the ring.
Yeah, because she wanted him freed. Lenore.
She was an idiot. She was basically like Scott with a wig.
Alive, unfortunately, and talking shit about me back at my home.
It is perfectly normal for people to defend their significant others after bad things come out about them. It happens more often than not.
Well, Scott, when you played baseball as a kid, were you designated Hitler?
Jesus Christ. And yes, I
really
was
Don't
often
say yes to that, man. Don't know.
Did you hear the whole thing he said? Did you?
I unfortunately
still say yes.
I was DH because I was good at hitting and have ADHD, so it was terrible on any other position.
He didn't accuse you of hitting. He accused you of hitling.
I just really wanted to make the pun because I thought of it. I didn't expect you to agree. This is wild times we live in.
Moving on. Oh.
So yeah, we stopped. I don't remember if we had an interaction in Forvin or not.
I hope they're cooking you.
I know. I don't remember how we got in touch with Captain Jaaek and Herod either, because that became a whole thing. He became an ally, but I don't remember when he became an ally because we talked to him before we actually did the raid on the crack.
We found out about him through someone else. That was in the unnamed Thorpe or whatever. The blacksmith lady was like, Captain Jack's cool, and we're like, okay, we'll talk to him. And then later we talked to him.
Yeah, someone sent us in his direction, but I'm pretty sure we just boated from Leshev all the way down to Hodgwen, basically.
Yeah, we didn't even like reach out to him until after once we were trying to figure out what the fuck to do with all the stuff we got
because you all fucking fucked around on the boat, and Koa was like, "I'll go help row" or whatever the shit.
We paid for our passage by popularizing the song.
You were on the top deck playing your lute. I was on bottom deck, like shoveling in coal.
Yeah, right.
And Aldo was in the banquet hall drinking up the wine.
He was singing.
I'm pretty sure that was our ride to Hodgwen.
Yeah, it did save us money, which we desperately needed.
Yeah.
And that's how we discovered. That's how we discovered the Dan song. Like, beat us south. Like it was like already down there before we got there. Yeah.
I remember meeting Edric and his shitty guys that all betrayed us, minus the one that apparently Scott sent off to die that we really liked.
Yeah,
Joey.
I pictured Edric as like, what's the book series with like fucking Pony Boy and like the little shitty gang? I pictured Edric and his guys as like coal-nosed kids like wearing their little taxi driver hats, like running around Hodgwen with their clubs. That's kind of how I saw them at first. But they were like outside the bank for some reason.
So what did we do? We went through Harrod, talked to Jack, and then we went into Hodgwen. And then did we immediately go into gather information? Is that what we were doing?
I don't think we talked to Jack on the way down. I'm pretty sure we didn't actually reach out to him until after we beat the ring, because that's when we were trying to figure out what to do with the stuff. And then we gave all that luxury stuff to Harry.
Yeah, because we took care of it with Edric and crew. And then we had Jack and Edric go back to catch the buyers.
Yeah, so we got to Hodgwen, which was the first time for Mikhail and Aldo, but Koa had technically been there before. And there was that whole stuff about trying to find a good place to stay, and
infamously meeting Guinevere.
Did drugs come up at some point? I feel like drugs came up at some point.
There was a drug thing where Aldo was like openly trying to buy or sell drugs or some shit.
Did it have to be your follow-up to Koa meeting Guinevere, Kiken?
I didn't even hear you said that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there might have been some addiction things going on. All right, man. Jesus.
Too
soon.
But we also got introduced to characters like Gargalith. Was it? That was in Hodgwen.
Gargalith lost his head.
And Casper. Casper was the one that Aldo
Yeah.
ended up meeting in the tavern, right? And that led us to Gargalith.
Yeah.
Casper
Yeah.
and Gargalith are part of the same conflict, but yeah, you
Yeah.
talked to Casper prior.
Good old
Yeah.
concussed Cass. That's what we call him. That's his friends.
Beheaded Gargalith.
He was the
Which
one that
is
was
pretty
running
fucked up.
away, like sprinting, and Mikhail put him to sleep, and he just like hit the ground, right?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
Casper. Yeah.
Yeah, that
You
was
literally
Casper.
knocked some
Casper's
sense
had a
into that
rough go of it, like a really rough go of it.
Yeah,
man. Dude, we're like,
I'm telling
Casper, you go
concussion
get some
is
milk from the
middle
store, and Casper comes back concussed with a broken arm
name. Yeah.
and no milk. I don't remember all of our initial bullshit
tried
in
his
Hot Gwyn.
Oh, then we met Malik, right? Who then we ended up getting the information about the
he was
person
fucking
Scott
Yeah,
always
Ashtara
says,
was-
Ashtara.
That's
right.
the way into the crack. That's
And then
I don't
Scott
think that's
wouldn't
a-
let me disguise myself as Ashtara. I specifically remember that.
Even
I
though
was
by
ready
rule
to
you
do
could.
it.
She's a halfling.
Yeah. She's
By
not
rule-
a halfling. She's just short.
You kept
Oh,
saying
then I'm
she wasn't.
misremembering.
You kept saying she was just a really short human.
Oh, that's
Yep.
right. She's just a really short human. That's right. That's right.
He was by rule allowed to, and you're like, there's no way.
It's like some serious penalties.
It's like
That was the
Scott tries
first time
pretend
I
he's
was
6
willing
feet
to
tall
use
whenever
my
he is 3 feet
hero
tall. Why
point
can't
on
Jake?
a +8 for that.
Well, so even
I remember I was
magic,
ready.
even
Pulled it
magic
off
only
by-
allows you to change your height by 1 foot, and I think she's more than a foot shorter than you, and you're trying to do it mundanely, which is like you could look like her, but you're not going to pass. Like you intrinsically, like no matter what you think you get for a result, it's going to be lower. Like you get a huge penalty because you're going to be the wrong height. Somebody was like, "Oh, I tower over her," and then you're like, "Whoa!"
Based
Ashtara,
on your
you're taller."
description, it doesn't really matter how tall he was as her. Other features are the things people noticed.
Yeah, like if he was like walking on his knees and it's just like he got really thick thighs. That's all. That's all it is. People be like, "Yo,
Really
she's
thick-
exactly what people
really
said she
thick
was."
thighs and very short legs. Like,
Put him in a ballroom dress where like he can be on his knees and no one would know. Yeah.
oy vey. Cool. So let's kind of talk about, you finally get to the crack, you get there, and you're going in and you're kind of like working through the area. If I remember correctly, y'all kind of like snuck in from the side entrance, and the area that has like the fountain of water, like the well of water that's over there. Dropped a couple of guards, encountered a snake that was an Easter egg / repeat for.
Was encountering the snake the first instance of Mikhail being like Mr. Anti-Animal, or was there a donkey or horse bite prior?
Oh god, I don't remember.
I think it was. Oh shit! I feel like there was something right before that, wasn't there?
I think maybe when we went to Twisted Grove the first time, like with
That
when we
was
met
on the way to the
Kethrel.
bandits, right?
We beat the bandits. We were with Kethrel, and you like tried to feed an apple and rolled a 1.
Yeah, because that's where that first donkey died. Was on the way away from that.
Yeah. So the snake was
And
the
he
second
fucking
instance
bit
of us
me.
realizing Mikhail had no animal skills.
Yeah. Yeah, that snake in the water fucking bit me.
Dude, animals and water combined, your biggest fucking weakness.
Clearly my biggest ops.
Foreshadowing.
Oh
for
my
sure.
God. Guys, you know what we have to make? We have to make a
No.
water donkey. What was those things? Kiply, Kipler, Kipsy,
Kelpie?
Dude, you go to the right
Let's make
bar,
a
you play
donkey
your cards
Kelpie.
right, you'll end up with some wet ass.
Instead of a kelpie, it has to be like a delpy,
Wow.
right? Like we need it. We need a
Just-
donkey
just
kelpie, huh?
Nope.
Away from Delpies for a minute. That when we actually went into the cave, though, we handled that so well, and I think we managed to get rid of like 6 people or something before the thing even
Yeah.
started.
Like
It
5
might
or
have been
6.
more because it was like several groups. It was Keegan, it was Mikhail putting people to sleep, and Koa bonking them with Edric's club.
Mhm. And then
we
Aldo
still
roaring
barely
wolves
got
them
through
out.
that shit.
Yeah. That was probably the most like tense infiltration that I've been a part of in any game.
I don't know how we were
To date.
supposed to succeed at it. I really
Yeah.
don't. Because
Ba-
we did
barely,
as good as
apparently.
we could have. And you were out of ammo, you were out of spells, I was out of health, Edric was unconscious, and we still had 3 people to deal with.
Spell. I
including
used a
Tor.
hero point for an extra spell, which
Yeah.
which put those dudes to sleep that were about to those like 2 guys to sleep that ran out of the room.
Yeah,
We should have died in there.
Yeah, because like my guess is, and as much as we can still give Scott shit for this, being betrayed by like half the dudes that we hired because we
Yes.
didn't give them a king's ransom because we didn't have it, definitely made that harder. So then we
Yeah.
didn't have the resources and backup we needed to like explore things further, because if shit went bad, we couldn't just easily fall back and be okay. Because we had one dude we couldn't trust, one who just wasn't there anymore, and then like Edric and a guy.
That
So,
other dude, man, was MVP, and I want him back. What was his name?
I just kept calling him Cooler
It
Joey.
was Joey. It was
Joey.
yeah, it was Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just keep adding Cooler in there.
Because you're referencing the Birdman who hasn't been found yet. So this is a thing with PCs in D&D. So DM like and you'll find a million references to this now that D&D is so popularized. You'll find a million references on the interweb about it. But you got a DM will come up with an encounter that's not meant to be a straightforward fight. Maybe it's they threw a Tarrasque at a low-level party, or like a dragon, or maybe it's like a cave full of too many people for them to immediately handle. And the party's response to this is, how about we roll initiative? And it's like, well, don't get me wrong, like you can do some combat, but at some point, maybe it's also good to like fall back, like do some attack and then fall back, and like make it a bit of cat and mouse, make it a bit. No. Roll initiative and then keep moving. And it's like, if that's like the default or the only go-to, then it's like, yeah, it's an uphill battle. So knowing that that's how PCs are, I make it so that scenarios that are, sometimes I still have to do that. No, this is too fucking tough. You should know better. But usually what I do is I make it so scenarios are meant to be like, no, this is truly lethal, but achievable with a bit of luck or blowing all of your resources and a little bit of luck, like that's how like, or maybe like chat interaction and blowing all your resources, right? That way it's like, it's doable. It's not the best path in my mind, but it is a path that can be done with a lot of risk. And then lo and behold, every time the PC's approach is always...
In our minds though, I don't know that there was a way we could have considered that this was a attack run away, because we knew a couple different things. They could kill all the prisoners at any time. They could pack up and leave, or reinforce or move everyone. Like this was kind of like our chance, and if we fucked it up, the consequences were going to be pretty dire.
I'm pretty sure that.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering what you had envisioned there, Scott, because I remember at the time too. I don't we felt like we didn't have another option.
Yeah, because the auction was coming up, so it was like, either if we don't do it now, all those people are going to get sold. Like a bunch of people will be here. It kind of felt like there was a time crunch.
So what Rasmus is saying is where things can get interesting. So when the sellers are there, so don't get me wrong, what you guys did was the ability to, most likely was the path, obviously it's all based off dice, was most likely the path of the least risk of losing the prisoners. I'm not saying that the other way would have been worse, but like how yours played out, it was so clean from the prisoner's perspective that I can't say other paths necessarily would have been as guaranteed of a success. I don't know. I just meant for your own safety and outcome and so on. When the other people showed up, the buyers aren't warriors. They're not like, these are people with the money that are going here. Now you have faces, you have names, you have like people that you can take as potentially like prisoners, or what's the word I'm looking for here, like hostages. You have a whole different avenue that you can get into. You could try to slip in as one of them. I think it's actually how another crew did that before, is they like posed as buyers and they went in there. I'm pretty sure that's what happened before. Posed as buyers and went in there and went that way. So in my mind was, you would go in there, you would either scout out and kill a few, and hopefully kill them in a way that like nobody knows what happens. Sure, there might be blood, maybe prestidigitation, the blood's gone. And sure, but maybe like you kill 2 or 3 of them, thin them down a little bit, remove the bodies, and then come back when the that other scenario is there. Or maybe they chase you out and you can kind of like fight them in the woods, kind of once again, thin out their numbers a little bit first. I did not see it as dive in 2 feet to the deep end and then just keep swimming to see how far it goes. In the end, y'all got lungs of steel and you're excellent swimmers, right? Like it turned out great. I get chat interaction, lucky dice rolls, and you jived well. You actually made good decisions together as a crew. Like it worked out. It was a defining moment for the party, which is cool. It's not the way I saw it going. I saw a little bit more.
We assumed
Mikhail
all the
and
buyers
and
would
Aldo
have
and a
their
little
own
less Koa.
security. So we expected there to be more security with the buyers. So we thought there'd be more people, more confusion. And like I said,
we had very small numbers.
Yeah, I believe it was implied to us that if like they smelled something weird, they might just kill everyone and start over, like move on, scatter, whatever. So it kind of felt like once we initiated, we had to follow through. How I remember it.
That was the impression we were under.
Yeah. And us playing our characters the way we were, Aldo was the most likely to suggest infiltration, but still at that point, his character was like, I'm only doing this for the money, and I'm only doing this because we have a bigger job waiting, so let's just fucking do it. It wasn't like he was...
It did come up. The infiltration idea did come up, yeah. Because we were talking to Malik about it, but I don't remember what turned us off of it. I think it was just like the too many intangibles, like unknowns and whatnot. Because he didn't have a lot of information about like, oh, this is what you'll encounter once you get in. Just that this is how you get in. And I think
we
that's
had a
what
number, and I think we had like a dozen we thought we were going to be encountering, and it ended up being more like 16 to 18, including like the non-lash guards.
Yeah.
And luckily we didn't fight Beltran there, because obviously he's going to be a high.
I wanted to charge him so bad, but I was at like no health, and I think I was fighting two people in melee at that point, and if I had left, they were like both archers. There was another archer or something. I wanted to chase him so bad.
I say there was no pullback. There was that one bit of pullback, which you can argue was maybe the worst, but at the same time, had you charged him, that could have given Tor enough time to be even more vicious, and more people could have died because you did that, because you would have been closer to where he was. You'd have given Tor more insight earlier, because like how it would have echoed down the hallways or what have you. So had you gone after Beltran, it actually could have cost more lives. In that moment, one might argue with hindsight that in the grand scheme, it could have cost less lives because Beltran's worse than Tor ever was. But you didn't have that insight at that time. So
we also knew nothing about the secret passage, and we all conveniently went on the opposite side from where the door was, so we couldn't even look to see if we noticed it.
Yeah.
That was actually kind of funny.
Crazy. That whole thing was insane. It was really cool though. I'll remember that for a long while.
Yeah, and for me, just because again,
proper heroic,
for me, the first time I used that map, I think was with patron crew, kind of going in there. Who Malik was actually originally a patron character, and then the old party went in there. So it was fun to use that map. I think a third or fourth time. Like it was just cool, just like because there's so much history, right? Like even just looking at it, it's like ooh, emotions, and like now I have even more, which is awesome. Like the everything that Koa just went through there and whatnot. But cool.
Koa almost died before. Was it before the crack where we had we chased the dude down who blew up his own house?
Oh,
that was before. Yeah, it was.
Before,
yeah, because I remember I fell like 2 stories into an explosion.
He was an alchemist, right?
Yeah.
That guy. What was his fucking name? What did he call himself?
I don't remember. Doesn't matter.
It's like Dusty or something. I don't remember, but
I don't know.
He blew himself up, and then Mikhail couldn't help Koa out of the pit because I kept rolling a bad number.
Yeah.
It was messy.
Was it? Was that the messy of the campaign?
Yeah, that was messy.
You voted out the name? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Fun. All right. So, anyways, you guys get in there. Obviously,
himself up in this game. That's fun.
You get a quick glimpse of Beltran for long-term, previous campaign viewers. They knew who it was, but kept their mouths shut. Actually, the crews, for the most part, did a good job of keeping their mouths shut. The places where spoilers sometimes come out is they'll actually go to this campaign's spoiler chat, and then they'll put a spoiler tag on it. And there, sometimes they'll speak a little bit too plainly, but usually what they'll do is they'll go to this campaign's spoiler chat. They'll put spoiler tag on there. They'll warn that it's V1 spoilers, and even then they're a bit vague. So usually they go with that approach, which is nice for the new people coming in and watching, and for Wade or even Mikhail, who doesn't or SirKiken, who saw some of that series, but certainly not the beginning parts, and so didn't remember everything, right?
It's so good, but it's just that I don't remember all of it.
Well,
But it was like on the background while I was working, that kind of thing, right? So
yeah, which makes sense. Cool. So, anyways, you get through there. You obviously kind of like work through everybody. Edric does this like awesome like drops a dude and I think goes down with it, but y'all save Edric, and we see that like passionless kill from Mikhail, and finally we see the we've come across Tor, and I think Wade wanted to touch on the Tor situation. So,
oh, I mean all of it. I remember the Mikhail's double kill there with the unconscious dudes being a bit. Was it evil? Was it not evil? Whatever. But in the moment, like I said, Koa might even have done the same thing in that moment. I don't know, but it was like we were out of ammo, out of health, out of time. People's lives were being threatened, and if these two dudes got up, it might have been game over for us. Like that might have been it, because we could not take on at the time Captain Tor, the two guys in the room with him, and two more guys behind us with what we had. I had 1 health. Aldo had no ammo and Mikhail had no spells. We were completely fucked.
Yeah.
So I remember him doing that, and it was passionless, but it was also like, dude, what option do we have? We don't have time to sit there and tie him up. Like, we just don't have time.
Oh, yeah. No, I actually remember something about that scene, but go ahead. I'll touch on it after.
Yeah. And then we got to the room with Tor, and I remember I was just like, I stand against the wall and shove my sword between the bars, hoping to hit something, because like I can't even. If this dude coughs on me, I'm dead. Like I can't take anything right now. And I forget who.
Did you have like one javelin for a while that you threw and had to go pick up because you had like nothing else?
Pretty much, yeah. It was that and my sword. And I think, was it Aldo who talked the one dude into like flipping in the room?
I think it was you.
Me?
I think you intimidated him or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I thought it was one of you two.
You were in the room. I was running Aldo bolts. He hadn't gone all the way in yet.
I really thought it was Aldo who talked the dude into like standing down. Because I had no diplomacy at the time. Intimidate also wasn't great. I must have intimidated or something if it was me, but I thought it was one of you guys. But anyway, I guess we got in there, and I don't remember what happened to other henchmen who didn't flip. I think maybe Aldo, you shot him or something. I remember I put my shield up. I don't know why I switched to my shield instead of my sword, but I just fucking charged Tor with the shield and was like, I got one chance to stop this guy from killing Cleve, and this is it.
Yeah.
I think you had the shield. I think you didn't have the sword up so you could have the shield because you had like 2 hit points.
I think I had 1 hit point, but yeah.
Or 1. It was low. I think that's why you wanted to make sure you had your shield up, because
I thought I was basically doing a farewell to Koa. I actually thought that his thing would be, I save Cleveland and die, because I was like, there's no way I get out of this alive. But then somehow I crit, or something crazy happened with Tor.
You crit with the shield bash on Tor, yeah.
Yeah. Which was kind of nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really thought it was I was like, at least my boy's going out as a hero. I really expected him to die.
Did he have some damage on him? Didn't he get shot or something first, too? I don't think that was the only time he got hit.
I don't remember.
Do you remember, Scott? I don't remember if Tor got hit before that, if it was just the shield crit did him.
I'm thinking right now.
I feel like he took
I shot him for like, it was like 2 damage or something.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. It wasn't
much. I guess he kept rolling minimum for like ever.
Yeah. Okay, that's what it was. I was like, he was not particularly powerful, just an NPC, but
2 damage was a lot at that time.
Yeah, so. He did have. If I had to guess, if I had to pull a number out my ass for his health points, it was probably like 13, right? And we all know that Koa, mins 13 damage.
That was a shield bash.
That was a shield bash.
Yeah,
but he doubled it. But
so I mean, like, either way, it went very well. So
yeah, no, that was very well performed though, giving us the like, hey guys, you know how I harp on what is it, alignment? This is what evil looks like. I was like, okay, yeah, do your thing. This is dope. I like this. I hate it, but I like this.
Yeah. Yeah, he killed like 3 just straight up before we got to him, and I think Cleveland even got a scar.
2. I think it was 2.
2 or 3, and then Cleveland ended up getting like cut, but not killed yet.
Yeah.
No, didn't Cleveland got like hurt.
He got
I remember we had to use the
stabbed. He just
blood block
didn't die.
on him and all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah, maybe he got stabbed harder. Yeah, he was in
Yeah.
rough. Yeah, he
Was
was in rough
Cleveland
shape, yeah.
because I think he killed the first two, and the third one
Mhm.
was Cleveland.
Was Cleveland. Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't
Yeah.
actually get to successfully kill him because of like I think I rolled poorly or whatever it was.
Cleveland made his
Yeah.
his coup de grace save effectively, and then that's when Koa smacked the guy.
Can we also talk
It
about
was-
how
it was
like
all
there's some
good.
Benjamin Button shit going on? Remember the first time we encountered the counselors of Leshev and they were like, "Hey, Koa, you did so well," and now
Yeah,
we're
they-
like, Koa, you're back.
That
Yeah, they all
is-
talk at the
that is
speed
that
of-
is not Benjamin Buttoning. That's Scott having very busy Wednesdays and coming in with a hurt throat and being like, I can't talk like this for 40 minutes. I will die.
That's
Yeah.
still better in our ears than your normal voice, though.
What was that? What?
Nothing, man. Koa did not kill a counselor. He healed a counselor who died peacefully in his sleep.
Yeah, that was some bullshit. Y'all murdered an innocent individual and then stole their estate.
Listen,
Innocent. We did not ask for that.
he received a healing potion, and you still killed him.
Yeah, he did get a healing potion.
I'm sorry. Y'all did like internal bleeding damage to an ancient figure.
I put him against the
friggin'
wall. You're
healing
like,
potion
he's
is
dying.
magic. That bitch
Y'all
costs
y'all
gold.
did con damage to him where it's like, I healed some health points, and he's like, I'm missing health points because of my
Dude,
con
my
damage.
best
He
attack with all of my
recovers one
abilities does
con a
not do
night.
ability damage.
No, they died overnight. There was no con to recover.
Well, listen,
That's
if he
bullshit.
got to 0 con, then he should have been dead instantly, and then
Oh,
we
so
should have
you know
saved
what,
the healing
guys?
potion.
You are making very valid points here. I do apologize. Let's retcon the situation. So
Revive the
So
counselor, give us our
Counselor
healing potion
Westwood's
back.
still alive. They still have their estate in
In the
Westwood
basement.
and in Leshev. They still have all of their
No, you know
belongings.
what this retcon's gonna mean? We still pay taxes on it for some reason.
Yes, you do. But it was
No, no,
found
no,
out
no,
that
no,
he
no, no, no.
assaulted
You already
them.
know Aldo would convince him that we're just his grandchildren, or their grandchildren, and that we just live there.
Curve Rock, who was established early on as being a complete asshole, and the crazy turnaround we had with him later on, all being undone by
You're
I
you're
think
jumping
was an
season
MM.
1. Why don't we so
we're
season
jumping.
1 finishes with the session called the Valiant Few, right? Which was you guys had successfully completed the organization known as I think the Lashes. And
10 lashes.
you bring all the evidence back. You get what's his name? Dan is arrested.
Didn't some motherfucker jump off a bridge? One of the Lashes? Didn't they like jump off the bridge in Hot
It wasn't
Wind?
the Lash. It was just one of the captured
Yeah.
assholes. One of the
Oh, okay.
not bandits. One of the slavers who didn't turn but wasn't the Lash.
I thought it was the other dude who was in the room with Tor. I thought it was like the guy,
No,
the other
no, it
evil ass
wasn't him.
bastard in there. No, okay.
Yeah, no, that because there were 2 in the room with Tor. One of them turned, and then the other didn't. If there was a third, then he got KO'd or whatever.
You brought the people back, the prisoners, the slaves, you want to call them, brought them back with their freedom, brought them straight to the Chantry to have them healed, which is the hospital. And you gained the title of the Heroes of Hod Gwen, and that's where the song The Valiant Few was written, and kind of like the namesake for the group was put together, and really the true notoriety of the party had started at that point. Your notoriety gaining you a significant amount of fame with those that pay attention. That doesn't mean everybody knows you and loves you. That's bullshit, right? But you know that for those that pay attention, those that care about those sorts of things, which is a significant number of people, you started gaining positive notoriety, which over the series so far you've seen continue to grow in the benefits of that. But unfortunately, as was already mentioned here, that one person at Koa didn't have the health resources, what have you, to hunt down. That was literally the most important person for the arc, not for the immediate situation, but for the arc. And him getting away meant that you had an extremely powerful and well-connected individual who is working against you and has just made the plot harder and slower and mired down and just made everything in the region worse. And we kind of learn more about that. I think you learn about him in season 3. So we'll pause that conversation. And before we move on to season 2, any like final thoughts of season 1? Any like items that you want to mention, or at this point, chat, if you have any questions that you want to follow up on season 1, feel free to ask them now before we move on to season 2. Any final notes that you guys want to ask? Or sorry, any notes that you want to make like independently first?
Yeah, when we ended season 1, it was like, okay, we took care of Samir, who had killed Phil. We'd made it all the way down, taking care of most of the slavering with a couple stragglers that we knew, and the people that were in like Varen and Forv and whatever. And I stupidly and naively was hopeful. I was like, man, we're actually going to like do stuff. We're going to accomplish things. We're going to like finish what we start. It's going to be fantastic. Yeah.
You did.
Why would you think that?
Hold on, you did.
Just I believe.
Did you hold on? Did you get retribution for Phil's death?
Phil's death specifically, yes.
Did you break down the slavering?
Not entirely, no.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you break down the? Does the slavering exist anymore?
We don't know what
the
the dudes who
free?
got away were doing. We don't know who they had stashed away.
Well,
Maybe Belcher has another slavering. We don't know.
I mean, you do have from season 4 considerable insights around the fact that Beltran had a pet project that was a pet project that was not really known about until later on. It was known about and not liked, and that he hasn't gone down that pet project again.
As far
It's
as
so
know.
gross calling having a slavering a pet project. By the way, I should call that out.
Dude, you designed this world. This
It's
is yours.
it's vile to say that.
This
but
slavering is your pet project.
It did seem like season 1 was just like Scott trying to be like, hey guys, Deer sucks. Hey, I really need you to understand this place sucks. Do you guys remember how bad we wanted to burn Leshev down?
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
Yeah,
I still
do.
want to burn the entire. Like,
Season
Koa is like,
1.
we can fix it. I wait. I'm like, fuck all of it, dude. Why don't we just burn the whole fucking place down?
But at the end of the day, you had 2 big plots that mattered for season 1. One of them was did you get retribution for? Yes. And the other one, did you break the slavery? The answer is yes. Those 2 were concluded. We can talk about other seasons afterwards, but those 2 things were completed, and then seeds were planted, or what are they called? Like, what do you call baby saplings were nurtured as plot continued to grow. Any other final points before we go to their questions?
No, not for me.
good season. It was
Cool.
fun.
Cool. Ended with, I think you guys going from, you started at, but actually one more thing I want to bring up before we go to their questions. Y'all started at level 0. I don't think anybody here has started at a level 0 before. I've done it many, many times as a DM before. Okay, you have, Keegan. Okay. I've done it many, many times as a DM before, and we're playing Pathfinder where level 0s don't exist. So I actually had to tap into 3.5's level 0s and then like tweak them a little bit to make it work for Pathfinder. But like y'all started at level 0 and then I think ended starting season 2 as level 2 or some shit like that. I if I recall correctly.
We got level 1. We got like an ability point. We had some growth.
Yeah.
And then like the last
2 of
10
us got
months-
traits and 1 didn't.
Yep,
All
that's true.
the
Too.
work and got no trait. Yeah, I remember
2
that.
of us got
Who was
birthday presents and Keegan didn't.
He eventually did.
What?
He eventually
We had to start with like almost no ability points.
No, yeah.
Of which
You started
we've
as
ever
like
gotten. I think we've gotten 2
Mhm.
in the last 12 months,
Mhm.
13
Yep.
months.
Yep.
So I feel weaker than I would like to, but like also stronger than everyone else as Koa, if that makes sense. Like Koa is a fucking badass, but like having played Arjun a bit in Keegan's system or Keegan's game, where I've got like 9s and 10s in every skill, and then I go to Koa and I'm like, dude, a +4 is crazy good for me. It's like Koa can,
But that's
Doing
not
his
that's not
Opposite
fair though.
strengths.
You're
Swing his
talking about a
sword and
skill
ride.
monkey. You're talking about a skill monkey versus a
sure.
combat class. No, but that's legit though.
no,
You're
I
talking about-
agree.
yeah.
But even as a combat class, like compared to other people I've played before, like compared to Mortifer, Koa doesn't feel like anything, right? Like Mortifer was fucking even. But
Mortifer
Mortifer I
is
think started
magic.
at level 4. I think we started that game at level
Yeah.
4. But man, Koa, I was like, okay, I'm gonna build him a little bit tankier, and I've lived a lot of Koa's life in the single-digit HP range, which has been a little scary. But that's been an adjustment. Feeling like my character is both really strong and still really frail at the same time is a weird feeling, but it definitely feels that way.
You want to know something crazy, Wade? I'm pretty sure both Aldo and Mikhail, they're beginning of life was already in the single digits. That's as good as we were going to get.
Yeah, that's.
Mm.
Well, I mean, Koa was 14. I think at level 0 or 1. I think it was 14 HP.
Yeah, Mikhail had 9. Was
Oh.
Yeah, Aldo had 8.
I'm at 39 now, which feels crazy.
No, which is nice. That's
Yeah.
we were just talking about in Discord. We were talking about like they were like, oh, now that they're level 3, you know, could they fight a plains cat? And we are like, oh yeah, this is what happens if you fight one plains cat plus 16 to stealth. You're probably not going to find them. They're going to charge, attack, pounce. Probably they have I think it's like a 70% chance. No, less than that. Sorry, I think it's like a 40% chance of dropping Koa in just first rounds. Just drop Koa, and if that doesn't work, then Koa is down to single-digit health points immediately afterwards, and you still have a fucking plains cat right there.
Well, you assume that they can hit my AC of 10 or whatever the fuck it is.
12 if you're raging.
14 if you're not raging, but you're flat-footed because you're being, you know.
Spent like 40 gold, which is like the cost of our house to get armor. And I'm like, I'm at 12 AC.
Hey, it works.
But
isn't there like base to hit like +9 or something?
+7. Yeah.
It's plus, so if they charge, it's +9. Ugh.
Yeah. And then they're ambush hunters, so they try to get you flat-footed too. Yeah.
No thanks.
Cool. So let's go to questions from chat. First one's from 13th Spiral. It says,
you don't want to know how we felt about being at level 0?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought y'all were done
Jake?
answering. You're welcome to answer. Well, I think Keegan just put me in my place right there. Anyways, I hope you like that recap. Please take a moment to leave a comment about how you feel about the recaps overall. Don't forget to join for the next video where we cover the questions that came in from chat live at the time. Make sure that you go ahead and like and subscribe. Thanks, everyone.